It's just after 1 o'clock in the morning in Aruba. 17-year-old Joran Vandersloot and 18-year-old Natalie Holloway have been drinking in a nightclub and are now in the back seat of a car on the way to his house, being driven by his two friends. Unusual for you to be in the back seat of the car with two other guys kind of driving you when you're with another girl?
With one other girl, yes.
But they were okay with it?
They were okay with it.
Did they ever say, hey, she doesn't seem right to us, let's just drop her off?
No, never.
Then Joran has second thoughts. He decides not to take Natalie to his house because, he says, his father and brothers are sleeping. Then he says Natalie has an idea, to go to the lighthouse on the north coast to see sharks. You say Natalie said she wanted to see sharks?
Yeah.
A lot of sharks around Aruba?
No sharks at all.
But she thought she wanted to see sharks. Why?
Yeah, and I don't know. I told her there's no sharks on Aruba. And she's like, no, there's sharks on Aruba, there's sharks on Aruba. So I leaned up and I told Deepak to go ahead and drive to the lighthouse. I was talking to her the whole time, and so she was basically telling me stuff about her life.
Such as?
Where she's from, where she went to school, how old she was.
Still with it? Still making sense?
Still making sense. The only thing she said that didn't make sense was about wanting to see sharks, and she told me, she was talking about her mom, and she told me her mom was Hitler's sister.
What does that mean?
I have no clue what that means, and I don't know what it means. And
was it part of a conversation, or was it?
No, it was. It came up. I don't remember how it came up. She said it, and it's been actually, one of her friends has actually told the police as well that while they were together, she told her the same thing.
How did you take it?
I took it strangely. I mean, why would you say something like that? And I thought she was joking, so I was laughing, but she told me she was serious.
It's an odd statement, but one that would mean something to Joran later. But at that moment, he's not so much focused on what Natalie is saying, but on where to take her. You keep driving, you get to the lighthouse.
No, we never went to the lighthouse.
So then where did the plan change?
So then I asked her, do you want to go to your hotel? And I said, no, I don't want to go to the hotel. So then I was thinking, okay, so where do I take her? So then we went to the beach right next to her hotel.
So what happens?
We drove to that beach there. We got out, and I told Deepak I'd call him later to come pick me up, because I was planning on walking from that piece of the beach back to her hotel, and that maybe on the beach walk there something would happen between us. We walked out on the beach.
How is she walking? Does she still seem okay to you?
Yeah, she seemed okay.
Were there other people on the beach?
Yes, there were. There were a lot of couples on the beach. We walked first, I took off my shoes because I got sand in them. We walked right up to the water, and first we sat down there a while, talking and kissing, and then I asked her if she wanted to go back to her hotel. She said no, she wanted to walk the other way, so towards the north side of the island. And during that walk, there was one other couple that walked by, and so we walked a while till we got about right to the fishermen's huts, and we sat down again in the sand, and we kissed, we made out, and yeah.
It matters what you did, because it goes to how that story changed.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but nothing about this situation is. So what happened as you remember?
As I remember, she was laying on top of me, kissing, and we were touching each other, and I ended up, she put her hands in my pants, and I put my hands in her pants, and yeah, that's as far as it went. No sex.
No intercourse?
No intercourse.
Why not, if that's what you thought she wanted?
I asked her if she wanted to have sex, and she was fine with it. I didn't have a condom with me, though, in my wallet, and I won't have sex with a girl without a condom.
How did you feel about Natalie at this point?
Well, at this point, I got to know her a little, and I thought she was attractive. I thought she, for most of what I knew, I thought she was nice.
Did you feel that you two had a connection, or was this just a mutual hookup for the moment?
It was just a mutual hookup for the moment.
He says the two stayed on the beach for a while. It was getting very late, and Joran says he decided to go home because he had school the next day.
We cuddled a while on the beach, just laying there, and till I said about time to walk her back to her hotel.
And what does Natalie say?
She said she didn't want to go back to her hotel and she wanted me to stay there with her because it was her last night and she didn't want to go back to Alabama. She was having too much fun in Aruba.
Was she falling asleep?
Yeah, she actually was. When we were laying there, she closed her eyes on my chest and yeah.
Sleepy or drunk and passing out?
Yeah, no, more sleepy.
Seems a little odd though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That she's fallen asleep but she doesn't want to go back to her hotel?
She wanted me to stay with her there. She didn't want to go back to Alabama.
Joran says at about 2:30 a.m. he calls his friend Deepak for a ride home. And while waiting, he says he tries one last time to get Natalie to go.
I tried to convince her to go back to her hotel. I even jokingly picked her up in my arms to try and take her to the hotel, and she said, just put me down.
Do you remember the last time you saw her?
Yeah, the last time I saw her was when I told her I was going to go to Deepak's car.
And how was Natalie?
And she was sitting on the sand by the ocean.
Did it seem like a wrong thing to do, leaving a girl on the beach like that?
At that moment in time, for me, it wasn't the wrong thing, but it's definitely the wrong thing to do. I mean, it's not something a real man would do. It's not normal. It's not right at all.
But you did it?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because at that moment, I wanted to go home. I wanted to go to school the next day.
Joran says Deepak's brother Satish picked him up and drove him home. But he also offers an interesting little detail. He says he left without his shoes.
Why shouldn't the fact that you left your shoes be seen as a sign of panic? That you were nervous or scared about what had happened there?
Because that's not what happened.
Why would you forget your shoes? You said you weren't drunk.
I'd left them on the beach. I'd walked to the car. We got in the car. And right then there, I couldn't go back because we were going home.
In fact, those shoes have never been found, and neither has Natalie Holloway.